are proceeding seeing the mammalian eye, and in our today's session we are going to focus seeing the physiology of seeing. The physiology of seeing, the ability to see different kinds of objects that surround us. That is physiology of see. So how does eye have ability to see different kind of things or different kinds of objects that surround us? So now we are going to see. Now we are saying that the eyes works in the same principle as that of the camera. So tunasema eye, jicho linafanya kazi sawa kabisa na kamera yoyote unaiona au kamera yoyote unaijua. So the way kamera inavyofanya function ndio ndivyo hivyo na the eyes inavyofanya kazi yake. Since now we are saying that the light rays from an object passing from the external part of the eye to the retina through the conjunctiva, cornea, aqueous humor, and the pupil. We're going to see this on the figure 4.3. What does that mean? Here tumesema kwamba ule mwanga ambao unatoka kwenye the surrounding au kwenye object unaingia direct kwenye eye kupitia different kind of structure. Finally inaenda kwenye structure ambayo inaitwa retina, but inapitia wapi? Inaanza kwenye conjunctiva, cornea, inapita kwenye aqueous humor, then kwenye pupil, inaenda moja kwa moja kwenye retina. So you're going to see that in the figure 4.3, so you'll understand. So this one is the figure 4.3, structure of the mammalian eye, showing the physiology of seeing. For example, this one is an object. So this one is our object now. How can we see? Now these light rays, they are passing from these different kinds of places, so that now you can see we have cornea, the lenses, vitreous humor, aqueous humor. Thereafter the image, it is inverted in the retina. So and here we have the optic nerve that is responsible for transferring the information from the retina to the brain, so that it can be interpreted what kind of object is that. So now the pupil is an opening or an aperture which controlled by the iris, like a camera that is shutters, depending on the amount of light. As we have already seen that the mammalian eye, mainly human eye, it functions the same as the camera. So now the pupil, pale ambapo mwanga unapita inaitwa pupil. Sasa ile pupil, the amount of light to enter through the pupil, it is controlled by a structure ambayo inaitwa iris. Hii iris inapatikana within the human eye, but within the camera we have a structure ambayo inaitwa shooter. Ile shooter ndio inafanya kazi sawa na iris ambayo inapatikana kwenye human eye, since both of them they are used in controlling amount of light to enter through the eyes and through the camera respectively. And now we can say that the stronger the amount of light, the smaller the size of the aperture. Kwa tunasema kwamba pale ambapo mwanga unakuwa mwingi, ile aperture ambayo inapatikana ndani ya pupil inakuwa ndogo kwa ajili ya kuallow small amount of light to enter through, since the large amount of the light that will enter through the eye, it can damage the retina, since within the retina it only need a few light, yani mwanga unahitajika mdogo sana au mchache sana ili uweze kutafsiri what kind of object is that. And mwanga ukiwa mwingi inaweza ikapelekea damage of the retina, so that the aperture of the pupil is reduced for enhancing the light to enter the retina. So now the lens is positioned between the outer and the inner membrane of the eye, and its a major function is to focus the image on the retina by changing its thickness depending on the amount of the light from the distance or nearby object. So pia hii lensi ambayo inapatikana within the human eye, tunasema kwamba inafanya kazi ya kuaccommodate. Tukisema accommodation, meaning that it changing the shape of the lens so that it can accommodate different kinds of object. Either that object it is a distant object or it is a nearby object. So hiyo lens inakuwa ina change its shape kwa ajili ya kuweza kuaccommodate different kinds of an object. As here we have seen that its a major function is to focus image on the retina by changing its thickness depending on the amount of light from the distance or nearby object. And also we have to know that depending on the amount of light from the distant or nearby object, on the retina there are cones and the rods. These are the photoreceptors which are connected to the brain via a band of the fiber called the optic nerves. So tunasema kwamba within the retina is where now the image are focused. So now we are saying that within the retina there is a pigment, or we have a photoreceptor including the cones and the rods. These cones and the rods, they are specialized to differentiate and to differentiate different kind of color and so on. But also these photoreceptors are connected into the brain via a band of fiber that is called the optic nerves. So the information are received in the proceeding in the brain, and consequently the object can be seen. So baada ya ile impulse kufika ndani ya ile optic nerves will send that impulse to the brain so that the brain can interpret what does that object mean, or what we can see, that kama ni mti mkubwa au kama ni mtu mzuri au kama ni kitu chochote unaweza kukiona kwa sababu tu ya ile optic nerves imesend impulse to the brain, and the brain interpret what kind of object is that, and now you have ability to see any kind of an object. So now we can say that thus the role of the retina is to translate the light into a nerve signal and allow us to see under various conditions ranging from a straight light as sunlight. So hiyo ndio function ya retina, to translate light to a nerve signal. So kule kwenye nerve signal inaweza ikapelekwa moja kwa moja kwa brain for the interpretation. So now we can also say that it also distinguishes the wavelengths for us to discriminate color. Pia apart from sending the impulse or changing the light energy or light impulse to a nerve impulse, pia hii retina inakuwa inafanya kazi ya kudistinguish between the wavelength to distinguish different kinds of wavelengths so that we can have that ability to discriminate color. You have that ability to discriminate different kind of color. You can see this one is the black, is due to the presence of the retina. That is due to the presence of the photoreceptor, mainly cones, which help to distinguish colors which are found within our surrounding environment. So my student, now we have also to see the structure of the mammalian sea, show the physiology of sea. So now you can see here we have this our object as usual, but within our object, firstly, the object, the light are passed through different kind of media which are found within the eye. And now you can see this, within this is where now the light are passing through the iris controlling the amount of light to enter. Kwa hii ndio ina control amount of light to enter through the eye. Kwa sasa baada hapa patatokea na reflection, hii lens ita accommodate different kind of structure. Inaweza ikawa flatten pale ambapo itakuwa distant object, lakini inaweza ikawa convex pale ambapo patakuwa ile object itakuwa nearby. Kwa hiyo sasa now you can see here this one, it is convex shape, meaning that the object it is nearby. Thereafter, the light will pass into the retina, and within the retina is where now we can see the image, it is inverted. But how can we see the object it is not inverted? Is due to the retina, it passes the information into the optic nerves, where the optic nerves will send the impulse to the brain. So the brain will interpret. This one is the image of the female which is carrying the bucket on her head. So hiyo ndio structure, hiyo ndio physiology of seeing. So now my student, after we have seen now the mammalian eye that's showing the physiology of seeing, And that marks the end of our today's session. Also, my student, I would like to welcome you again into the next session, is where now we are going to start another sense organ, which is called the mammalian ear. And by saying so, thank you for following us, Educator TZ. Bye bye. Have a nice moment.